Hi everybody, it's Wednesday, July 9th, 2008. Thanks for stopping by. Got a real quick statement for you today. I think that democracy is dead in America. I am really beginning to fear this. The reason is, today the Senate voted overwhelmingly to pass Bush's spying bill, which I'm not sure what it does for his spying ability. I think it enhances President Bush's ability to spy on ordinary Americans, but I don't know the details. That's just the basic thrust. What I do know is that they have granted the telecoms immunity from prosecution in civil lawsuits because they have given out the information of their customers illegally to the United States government. Now this will basically cause 40 pending lawsuits to be thrown out because Congress is basically legislating for they're basically judging these cases from legislation. They're taking over taking away the power of the judges in these cases to decide them and make rulings, which is pretty disturbing. And the thing about it is, there were a lot of people fighting this. There were a lot of citizens groups and political activist groups that were fighting this legislation, and they passed it anyway, even though they had no reason to believe that anybody wanted this to happen. How many people do you think were lobbying Congress to pass this legislation and give telecoms immunity for giving away our information? There might have been groups doing this, but they weren't ordinary U.S. citizens. They might have been special interests. But there was no political action group that was lobbying Congress to, on behalf of ordinary Americans, to say, hey, let them get away with giving away all their information. Don't prosecute them for this. But there were plenty of groups that were fighting this, and it didn't make any difference. In fact, like I said before, Barack Obama voted for this bill. Mr. Change, Mr. Accountability, Mr. Opposite of Bush, just gave Bush everything he wanted and more. Think about that for a second. Now, people are filled with a lot of hope over Obama. They think Obama's really different and all this, and because he's a Democrat and because he promises change. But I have to tell you, if you really think he's going to change things, you are forgetting 2006. Remember 2006. The Democrats were elected to Congress, and we wanted them to get out of Iraq. We wanted them to hold Bush accountable, to possibly impeach Bush and Cheney, to stop all the spying, to stop all the intrusions and the erosions of our civil liberties. But they accelerated them. They put more troops in Iraq. They passed more bills that were, condoning torture or spying or whatever. They passed the bill that revoked habeas corpus, which is even older than the United States. It's almost 1,000 years old. One of the most basic ancient freedoms that we have, that we even had from Britain. So we have even less freedom now than we did under King George, if you can believe that. And the other basic thing is, look, at least 75% of this country is against this war. And we don't have any presidential candidates that are honestly going to get us out. They really don't care. Of course, Barack Obama's making obscure references to what he might do to get us out, but he's not really going to do it. I mean, come on. He doesn't have any real plans. All the people that were against this war were driven out of the election early and were not given attention in the media. That is the truth of it. And the only people that we're left with are just, people who are playing lip service, or people who are obviously going against the will of 75 or more percent of the United States and promising more war. So do you really think this is a democracy? Do you think this is a functioning democracy? Is it a functioning democracy when Congress does things that, on a regular basis, that no one asked them to do, that no one wants them to do, and people organize themselves and lobby Congress against, and they do it anyway? And this happens every day, and every day there's a new fight. Every day you have to organize again and go hound Congress and say, no, don't give away our rights. No, don't give telecoms retroactive unconstitutional immunity for crimes they've already committed against us. No, don't do this. And Congress does it anyway. Is that your definition of democracy? Thanks for watching.